हम शुक्राना गुरु जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्राना इस हुक्म के लिए कि हम लोग इस काबिल हैं कि आपके ब्लेसिंग्स का बखान कर सकें। For this life that we are enjoying every moment of it, because when more than 21 years back, when I was in deep trouble, we had lost all hope, but we never knew that Guruji हमारा कल्याण करेंगे, हमको ब्लेस करेंगे। 2004, that fateful day, I recall in the very first week of January, I received a blood test report, and that blood test report happened to be on a parameter called PSA, prostate specific antigen. I had no symptoms or problems except that my eldest brother in US, he kept on insisting on me that I should take that report, I should take that test, because he was diagnosed of certain issues, and his doctor told him that in case one brother has it, there is very high chance of the other brothers also having this problem. Sangatji, when I got that report, the parameter results were very shocking. The PSA, which monitors the health of the prostate gland in the males, that is only in the males, the safe range is 0 to 4. In my case, when the report came, it was not 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, it was 117. मेरे को आज भी वो शाम याद है कि हम लोग कैसे बैठे हुए थे, रिपोर्ट आई थी कि हमने, and since at that time we were living in Bhopal, and since we were living in Bhopal for a very long time, I knew a lot of doctors, so I called one of my doctor friend, and when I told him about my report, he directed me to another doctor who happened to be a urologist. We rushed to meet him. He saw my report. And he asked, "Why did you take this test?" I said, "My eldest brother has this problem, so." And he's in USA. He was insisting on me. I took this test. He said, "You are in deep trouble. Go to Delhi immediately and start your treatment. Don't waste time." And he also agreed that अगर आप अमेरिका भी चले जाएंगे तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला, आप दिल्ली में ट्रीटमेंट कराएंगे। पहली ट्रेन से हम लोग जो है दिल्ली के लिए रवाना हो गए। And this all happened in a period of just 3 hours time. We reached Delhi next morning. My appointment at Gangaram was already fixed. I I underwent various tests like CT scan, MRI, ultrasound, and ultimately a biopsy was done. And it was diagnosed that I was suffering from cancer of prostate in a very advanced stage. Advanced stage because the PSA level was extremely high. Secondly, the disease had escaped the prostate capsule. It was in my abdomen. So naturally, we were very, very shocked and we didn't know what to do because life was going on merrily without any problem. From Gangaram, we went to All India Medical Institute. I mean, I don't recall. संगत जी थोड़ा सा मैं हमेशा इस चीज को इंसिस्ट करता हूँ कि what I am saying is सत्संग सत्य का संग है. This is a true description of Guruji's blessing on me and my family, barring the fact that we don't recall the date and the sequence very truly. Gangaram, we went to, I think, Rajiv Gandhi, and from Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Hospital, we went to All India Medical Institute, जहाँ पर किसी की जान बचाने के लिए people helped me. And from there also, I went to Bombay for a day to consult the top uro-oncologists in India, Jagdish Kulkarni. But anyway, everywhere I went, I was given a very, very negative picture that I was in very serious trouble. At Gangaram, I was suggested a surgical procedure for which I had already registered and taken the pre-operative test. In the meantime, family members, they're also equally shocked, and they took me to various religious places, spiritual places, मत्था टेकाने के लिए. But I couldn't find peace because obviously you understand that when somebody like me at that stage having no symptoms, I had about a 1 year back some minor problems, but that was not indicative of what was to come. So we were shell shocked. We didn't know what to do. In the meantime, Purumat, his brother, General Malhotra, he was a brigadier at that time, and he was deep into Guruji's Sharan. He had his own satsang. Guruji blessed him, his family, his daughter, and whenever we met him, both Deepak uncle and Sudha Shanti, his wife, who is now at Guruji's lotus feet, they all talked nothing but Guruji. First of all, they were not seen in the family except on functions because they were into Guruji's satsang. And for them, Guruji's sangat, Guruji's satsang, Guruji was the only thing that they had rooted themselves onto. So both Deepak uncle and Sudha Shanti told me कि गुरुजी के पास में आ जाओ आपका कल्याण हो जाएगा. I had sought Guruji's darshan at Deepak uncle's daughter's marriage about a year back or so. But thereafter, I didn't really go to Guruji's mandir or to seek his darshan again. But I think my time had come. So, as he suggested, we went to Empire State Chote Mandir one fine evening with him. I always repeat that, and this is my true feeling, that that's the first time I felt comfortable during that traumatic period, a difficult time when there's so much of mental turmoil going on. The reason being that when I entered Chote Mandir, the entire ambience there, the self-imposed discipline, absolute silence, and Guruji's divine presence. his aura, his, he, the entire thing, Shabad Kirtan going on, was something which was very unusual for me, but also very consoling, very comforting. Sat down there, listened to Shabad Kirtan, which were always held in very high esteem as the divine spiritual message. After the Shabad Kirtan, we were given Langar Prasad, which we took in a very unique way of four people sharing the same plate, which was indicative of the core shared values of Sikhism, that everybody is equal, irrespective of their caste, creed, and social status. And for the first time, I tasted a Langar Prasad, which was extremely, extremely delicious. To Langar Prasad, I was taken to, guided by Deepak Mangal and Sudhar Shanti to Guruji's feet. He asked me, "Kyun hai?" I think he was already prompted by Deepak. So I said, "This is a problem." तो गुरुजी ने हुक्म दिया कि अगली बार आना तो लोटा लेके आना, तांबे का लोटा. Sangeet ji, when I say satsang, is every word of it is true, except that I don't recall the time frame. So that is the error. Sometimes we can be wrong in the time frame. I do not know whether we went to Guruji on the very first day or how many days thereafter. But we went at the earliest possible, whenever it was allowed, and we went to Guruji. He blessed the Tambe Kalota. Somebody in the Sangat guided me as to how to maintain it. कि उसमें कोई विम वगैरह या साबुन नहीं लगाना, उसको नींबू और सॉल्ट से साफ करना है, उसको शुद्ध रखना है, सुच्चा रखना है, और रात में उसमें पानी डाल के, जल डाल के, सुबह उसको जल को ग्राइंड करना है. जितना पी सकते हैं पी लीजिए. गुरु जी का प्रसाद समझ के बाकी जो बच जाता है उसको स्नान के लिए इस्तेमाल कर लें. So that become, though I think looking back, I think Guruji had inculcated a certain niyam in our life, that whenever we hold that lota, we remember of him. And so I started that niyam. But the most important thing is that the surgical procedure that I had registered earlier. We didn't go to Gangaram. Instead, I was indicated that I should avoid surgery. And fact is that it actually, the quality of life thereafter is pretty bad. I mean, some cases, not say all, because I mean, I am not a judge. Just जो मेरे को इंडिकेशन दिया कि आप सर्जरी नहीं करानी है, so I went to Bombay. I underwent very intensive radiation therapy and some hormone therapy. Rangadi, as a result, my PSA came down from 117 to 1, and it is 0.02 for the last many, many years. There was obviously remission, and that remission was possible because of Guruji's blessings only, because Anyone who heard that I had PSA of 117 and that I was tested positive can't believe that I'm surviving and I'm hale and hearty. In as much as, see, it, that state of mind during that period is, अच्छा गुरु जी के पास में जाते थे सब कुछ था बट चिंता होती थी. So 2006 or 7, I think 2007 most likely, me and Poonam aunty, we went to Leicester near London to meet her brother, Dr. Subhash Khanna, her Mera brother, a very noble soul who had initially guided me all along. Guruji had my hand and Subhash guided me on medical issues, treatment issues. So the purpose of going to Leicester was to ask him. And we went there, I asked him, Subhash, please tell me how long I have to live. I can live, I will live. I have to plan my life. I have to plan my children's future. And he said, Surinder, looking at your problem, you are doing fine. You're doing very well, which meant that I was doing better than expected. And that was 2007. And this is 2025. So it's not 21 years ever since I was diagnosed of this problem. And it's only because of Guruji's blessing that I'm hale and hearty. We traveled to US. We spent 2 months here because Guruji had given आज्ञा to Poonam aunty that हर साल 2 महीने अपने बेटे ने लगा के आओ यूएस से. But all this is possible because of Guruji's blessings. So while my treatment was going on, my blessing was going on. The main thing was that we took to Guruji and Guruji's Sangat like fish to water. At very first opportunity will come from Bhopal. And the sole agenda, or the most important agenda, was to go to Empire State, Guruji के पास बैठना, शब्द कीर्तन सुनना, लंगर प्रसाद लेना. Fall in love with Guruji. Many a times we would hide. Guruji हमको आज्ञा नहीं दें. But he knew what said, चलो चलो Makhija uncle, चलो चलो भोपाल वाले uncle, चलो जाओ. And sometimes he would ask us to stay. Guruji, after Langar Prasad, he many a times would go for a walk. And then we are sitting there, we enjoy a second helping of Langar Prasad, sometimes third helping also, as was his agya. It was a very, very divine experience. So one fine day, Guruji asked me, "Kithe काम करना?" I was working in a very senior capacity in a small company, and I was working in that company for a very long time, since 1971. And fact is that whenever I wanted to leave that company, those people gave me lollipops. No, 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 no. You are a member of the family. So I kept working with them. They're nice people, very nice people actually. So what he said after some time, he said, नौकरी छोड़ दे. Don't be, imagine a person who's been diagnosed of cancer and undergone serious treatment. Life was disrupted because of my treatment and all that. So it was very difficult to accept Guruji's agya. I recall I pleaded with him that Guruji, I will retire at the age of 58 in November 2008. Should I continue? So he said, okay. But, couple of times thereafter, he kept on asking me to Chaditana now. And that was like an implied question that have I left my that job? One fine day, which was the turning point in my life, one of the turning points, because coming to Guruji was the major change. But that day, when I was bending down to seek his agya, suddenly Guruji told me, अगली बार आइयो तो अपना सीवी लेके आइयो. पता सीवी क्या होता है? चंगा बना के लेके आइयो. लल्लू पंजू नहीं, सीडीज लेके आइयो. I was very happy that on one hand Guruji said, asking me to leave that job. Then now he says कि अपना सीवी लेके आना. And frankly, this is my my said that Guruji will ask somebody, या बहुत मिनिस्टर्स आते हैं, मिनिस्टर्स आते हैं, किसी को बोलेंगे मेरे को जॉब दे देंगे. मैंने अपना सीवी बनाया ही नहीं था. So I took somebody's help and got a CV made, got it converted into CDs, and गुरुजी को मैंने पेश कर दिया द नेक्स्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी. हमारा रूटीन था भोपाल से आना और आके जो है छोटे मंदिर में बैठ जाना. So every opportunity it would come. So this was an Guruji's हुक्म. जितना जल्दी हो सका हम लोगों ने वो सीडी गुरुजी को पेश करी. एंड लाइक ए फूल आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि आज नहीं कल किसी का कॉल आए. But Guruji had much bigger plans for me. Infinitely benevolent. And we had no idea because Guruji used to say कि मेरे को लाओ तो अपने ifs and buts बाहर जुतियां नाल छड़ के आओ. मेरे नाल तार दे नाल तार मिलाओ, फिर देखो मैं थोड़ा की कल्याण करना. Connect unto me and surrender to me. ਇੱਥੇ आओ ਤੇ ਨਿੰਮੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ आओ, सिर नीवा करके आओ, अपने डाउट्स जो हैं सब छड़ के आओ बाहर. But it was very surrender is very difficult. As गुरुजी ने आज्ञा दी मैंने वो सीडी उनको पेश कर दी. Then thereafter, I don't know how many times he kept on asking me to Charitananu. I said, नहीं बस गुरुजी, November 2006 आ गया तो मैं I'll leave them. It was a very difficult decision because what next? So 2006 November also came and then we came from Bhopal to go to Calcutta. I recall that day जब हम गुरुजी से आज्ञा ले रहे थे गुरुजी, and you relive certain moments, you recall certain moments very distinctly. उस दिन क्या हुआ था, कैसे हुआ था. So sometime Guruji used to sit on the carpet against the wall after langar, and he would talk to Sangat, very selective Sangat. He would banter with them later when things like that. So he would talk to them about their personal issues, or he would tell them many things. So that day, Guruji was sitting on the carpet. Next to him was Maneka Gandhi. And as I bent forward to take his leave and touch his feet, he looked up and said, "तू छट देता है ना?" So I said, "नहीं बस गुरुजी मैं कल जा रहा अपना हिसाब करन नु जो है." Then I pleaded, "Guruji मैं extension ले ला." Because a sense of insecurity was there. I never planned that I will retire at 50 age. That was only on paper. He said, "नहीं तू दिल्ली आना." I said, "गुरुजी मैंने दिल्ली extension दे दें, 1 साल ले लेना मैं." So, virtually like this, he dismissed me. I took it as an half approval, half dismissal. We went to Calcutta, asked for extension. They gave it me extension. I would have got extension at Bhopal endlessly, but there was no position in Delhi, but they gave me an extension there for 1 year. We came to Delhi, used that 1 year period, a window to settle down in Delhi, get our we have a flat in Delhi which was lying locked for a very long time. So we got it ready for a living condition and then we shifted there finally. But shockingly, Guruji left his chola on 31st of May 2007. So 2006 and we shifted to Delhi and 2007 Guruji left his chola. In the meantime, there were n number of Guruji's blessings from time to time. If I start narrating those, it will be a very long time. But then Guruji left his shoulder and we were shell shocked what to do. And that CD which I had gotten made as per Guruji's hukum, I started circulating it to select few people because November 2006 also 2007 also came and then I finally had to take leave of that company. But what thereafter? So me and a class fellow of mine, very dear friend, we thought of starting our own consultancy company. We got our letterheads made and everything was finalized, except that my friend said that let us meet an astrologer at Jyotshi who lives very close to my house and ask for the best or the most auspicious day to start our business. Guruji never encouraged meeting astrologers and Jyotishis and Pandits and all that. But since he was going to be my partner and he's a very dear friend of mine, he was. So we went to a Joshi, whichever he suggested. मैंने अपनी पत्री निकाली वो अपनी पत्री लेके आया with the sole objective that हम किस दिन किस auspicious day को अपना business start करें. But suddenly that Pandit asked me, "Is your wife with?" He said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Is your wife with you?" I said, "Yes." As per your Patni, your wife shouldn't be with you. I had goosebumps because soon after my treatment had started, one fine day, Guruji had told her brother in 2004 or 5 that तेरी भैन ਨੂੰ भी कल्याण ਦੀ ਲੋੜ है। वो अपनी अपने हस्बैंड की हेल्थ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ अपनी हेल्थ ਨੂੰ इग्नोर कर रही है। So we got the indication. He prompted us. I was 54, 55, she was 50, and generally ladies do develop a certain gynae problems. So we consulted her gynae, and for the first time, she had indicated कि आप Mrs. Makhija biopsy करा लो. So 2004 or 5, I think it was most likely 2004 after my treatment was had started. So when we got this indication, we came from Bhopal to Delhi, and we understood what is the meaning of what is the import of biopsy. But this time we were not unduly alarmed. इतना हम लोग घबराए नहीं जितना कि पहले मेरे केस में था, because Guruji had prompted us. उन्होंने हमको चेताया था. So 2000, at that time when Guruji had given Agya, we came to Delhi. We got her biopsy done at Gangaram Hospital. But before the biopsy, we went to Guruji's Darbar. उनको हमने गुहार करी कि ऐसी ऐसी बात. And he knew it. He is the one who prompted us. So to be very frank, brief, he blessed her. Well, next day when her biopsy had taken place, it was negative. It was very easy to assume that कि वो तो कुछ था ही नहीं. But महापुरुष हमेशा चेताते हैं. तो जब 2007 या 8 में हम लोग उस पंडित के पास में अपने किसी और पर्पस के लिए गए थे, तब उसने मेरे से कहा था कि अपने is your wife with you? But as per your Patri, she shouldn't be with you. So I had goosebumps. So then I realized that how Guruji had blessed her. हमको उन्होंने timely चेताया, and she's hale and hearty, and she didn't have much of a problem. Minor treatments जो होती हैं वही होंगी. So Guruji, his blessings are infinite. But around the same time, one fine day, Guruji gave darshan to Poonam Aunty in dream in 2007 and 2008 beginning, I don't recall. Then Guruji is sitting on a hill and in a Jain dress. In the morning, she, you know, told me about it. She very exuberantly told me Guruji ने दर्शन दिए हैं और ऐसे ऐसे मैंने देखा है. So I said, great. But soon thereafter, on the 13th of January, on the day of Lohri, I was celebrating Lohri with my neighbor. There comes a call from a gentleman, and he asked me, क्या कर रहे हो आजकल? I said, I'm going to start my consultancy company. He said, come and meet me. So I went from Delhi to Bombay, and from Bombay to a place called Jalgaon. I met him, and within just period of half an hour's time and little discussions and all that, he offered me a job I could never imagine. I grabbed that offer. Letter of appointment was issued, and my second inning started thereafter. संगत जी, जब गुरु जी दर्शन देते हैं, ब्लेस करते हैं, चिताते हैं, तो it's not without any purpose. It's not just a mere dream. Because उस कंपनी का नाम जैन इरिगेशन है. It's a multinational company, but they have plants in the USA. And a lot of the establishment, major part of the establishment happens to be on a hill. So I called Poonam auntie. I mean, earlier on I had told that I got this job, but then I called her and said, this is how Guruji had shown you. उन्होंने चिताया कि no, let's go back into how things really happened that went to his Sharan for my treatment, my medical issues. He blessed me, and it's only because of his blessings that today I have survived. Because my own family members had not given me much of hope. Then he blessed Punamanti. He prompted us, because he prompted us, we consulted her doctor, her gynecologist. And we started a new career. I started a new career at Jam Irrigation. Sanjay, the best part is that as on today, this is 17 years that I'm still working in that company. And this is one of the main stays of my good health, our sustenance with self-esteem. Because when this disease strikes, a lot many of your resources get depleted, whatever you may have planned. So it gave me the required confidence because come what may, uh, when you're struck with this disease, the patient always is under the gloom of what next, what will happen to me, what will happen to my family, how the end would come. Slowly and slowly, when I started working at the education, I regained my confidence. Just to give you an example, when I joined Jan Education, my physical condition was so fragile. So it was almost 4 years after my treatment had started. That during a lunch period, I would take my car to some remote area, switch on the AC, and sleep for about 1 hour, which was much needed for my to recoup my strength. But slowly and slowly, my life became normal. I started going to work harder, started traveling whenever it was required. And that CD which I had got prepared, I had circulated to a few people. In 2010, I get a call again in the month of January from a very large consultancy company that there's an opportunity in Ethiopia, Africa, for a team leader in a very respected organization supported by UNDP. And they asked in case I wanted to take up that opportunity. My boss was very kind. He allowed me because I didn't want to leave a pakka job just for the sake of a small assignment of 7 months. He said, "No, go ahead." So me and Punamati went to Ethiopia. And being a consultant, starting fresh is a great learning experience. But the fact remained that my assignment in Ethiopia, which concluded in 7 months' time, was a foot in the door as far as Africa was concerned. And thereafter, I started getting many assignments in Africa and some other places also, Southeast Asia. So I had not really expected that to happen, but I was able to visit many countries, take up projects. So much so that today, when there is any discussion on Africa, on water, on agriculture, on sustainability uh, in various institutions in India like FICCI, Chambers of Commerce, Government of India, Agriculture Department, Ministry of External Affairs, and things like that. They invite me for my views, for discussion, for my presentations. No, this is not about me because we had become absolutely zero and we had no, we didn't know what the future held for us. But if we go back into the entire 21 years of my new life under Guruji Sharan, it is full of his blessings and blessings alone. कुछ नहीं है सिवाय उस चीज के जो है. And the very fact that I am still working is matter of sudden surprise and maybe envy to some of my uh, colleagues. That is, he is still working with the irrigation. So how much I Guruji because of his divine blessing and his grace and nothing else. So we keep on enjoying the fruits of his blessings, which are infinite. Every day in our life is full of his blessings. I mean, so many incidences that गुरुजी की फ्रेग्रेंस बड़ी यूनिक है उनके प्रेजेंस वो अपने मैनिफेस्ट करते हैं फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम so I'll just cite a few of the instances where he manifested his presence even though he is not in physical form with his agya he enables us to hold his satsang at our house in Sarta Vihar in Delhi on the last Tuesday of every month. It's a, for us, it's a great opportunity to welcome him. We have a Sankat group, so 60, 70 Sankat members do join us. They join us in making the preparation. Poonam aunty and her friends and all that, they organize the whole thing. 2 दिन लगते हैं जितना अच्छा हम कर सकते हैं गुरु जी का वेलकम संगत का करते हैं और इनका तो ये है कि आज एक सत्संग फिनिश हुआ तो अगले की तैयारी चालू हो जाती है मेंटल framework वही होता है. So obviously after this satsang she is very tired. So I recall one of those days after satsang, it was uh, peak summer period. After the satsang and sangat left, Poonam aunty has the habit that जब तक गुरु जी का दरबार लगा हुआ है वो गुरु जी के दरबार में ही सोती हैं तो लिविंग रूम में हमारा दरबार लगता है गुरु जी का. So that day after the satsang and sangat left, she was sleeping and she went there and slept. I went to my room and I also switched on my AC and tried to sleep, but then suddenly my AC conked off, stopped working. Tried my level best to revive it, काम करे, मगर नहीं काम किया. So obviously it was not possible to sleep in that room in the hot summers. So I quietly picked up my pillow and slept next to Punamati and in the Darbar area. Just about half an hour thereafter, suddenly I woke up and I saw my house was full of smoke. I shouted, "Punam, घर में आग लग गई." And the fact was that there was a fire in my house. One of the Guruji's Sarup, we have a small flat in Delhi, 3 bedroom, out of which actually it's not our house, it's Guruji's house. Out of the 3 bedrooms, 1 bedroom is our puja room, Guruji's room. So there some sangat had after the satsang kept the jyot. But somehow or the other it took about an hour or so that the chola of the जो चुनरी होती है स्वरूप के ऊपर जो है it caught fire. And by the time we woke up, it was burning. So we didn't know what to do. Suddenly I recalled कि जो गर्मी का मौसम में पानी की bottles होती हैं उसके लिए आइस रखी होती है तो आइस तो मेल्ट हो जाती है तो I picked up that bucket of water and threw it on the fire. It extinguished. Empress's Punamanti's hand got slightly burned. But point is that if I was sleeping in my bedroom, the configuration of my house is that there was no escape. If the fire had spread, and Punamanti is so tired that she wouldn't have noticed, she wouldn't have known कि घर में आग लग गई. And then there was a small maid servant of ours. She was sleeping in one of the common areas, and she even didn't know. And by the time, after some time, it would have been too late. There was no escape for me. Why that AC stopped working, and what made me to shift to the area where Parmati was sleeping in the living room, and I suddenly woke up, is not an enigma. It is not a mystery. It is Guruji's blessings. His protection, वो हमारी रक्षा करते हैं. Let us think logically the whole life of ours. And this happens many a times in our life. I got an assignment to go to Cambodia in 2010 or 2011 beginning. In country like Cambodia, which was earlier war-torn, the roads are very nice, but the vehicles which they use are pre-owned vehicles like Pajero and all that. So I was coming from the site with my local guide, the client, and the vehicle was moving at speed of about 120, 130 kilometers per hour, maybe more than that. And suddenly there was a huge noise, and the driver was, and there was a lot of jerks and shaking of the vehicle. The driver was able to bring the vehicle to a halt. And as we came out, shocked to see that the rear left-hand wheel had come off the hub, but it got stuck between the hub and the mudguard of the vehicle. It didn't come out. अगर vehicle रुकता नहीं तो वो पहिया निकल जाता. Well, you can understand a vehicle moving at 130, 140 kilometers and one of the wheels goes off. How many times the vehicle would have toppled? So वो रक्षा करते हैं हम लोगों का. हम हमारा हमारा उनका हाथ हमारे ऊपर है. बहुत ऐसे किस्से हैं, बहुत से ऐसो की मतलब experiences हैं. And every time it happens, we thank गुरु जी, शुक्राना करते हैं उनका जो है. कोई विपदा आने वाली होती है तो बचाते हैं हमको, रक्षक है हमारे. His hand is above us. Life will go on, and there is the finality of life. But under his watch, under his guard, under his blessings, things are very well smoothness, seamless. And that is Guruji, that is his blessings. So we are here, जैसे गुरु जी ने आज्ञा दी है कि हर साल 2 महीने बेटे के पास में आना, हम कैलिफोर्निया आते हैं. And when we came in the beginning, when we looked forward to some company here, we were told that there is Guruji's Sangat here in 2008. Very, very happy. There was a group of about 50, 50, 60 Sangats. But slowly and slowly it has grown. And now there are thousands of people who are there. Many groups have been formed. People hold satsangs in their own house from time to time. And Sangat is very, very kind to us because commuting in US is not very easy. We don't have to Uber. Sometimes my son drops us to the place where we have satsang. Sometimes they pick us up, but most occasions the Sangat, they help us to commute to attend the satsang. And for me and Punamalti, it is a, a great reason to come to US because US में कितना हम देखेंगे the novelty has worn off. But only thing is that it's a joy to see our grandchildren grow up, spend time with my family over here, and then attend satsangs, listen to experience of many people. गुरु जी के संगत कहाँ नहीं है, जानते हैं सब जगह पर है, but I was a little surprised. 2 years back, I took a ticket which had a long layover at Tokyo. So we thought we'll just go around and go out and see the city of Tokyo and resume our journey to Delhi. Somehow Poonam auntie thought कि नहीं देखते हैं अगर वहाँ कोई संगत हो. I said क्या बात करते हो? बोला नहीं let's try. She called up some संगत member in Singapore. They suggested talk to somebody in Vancouver. And to our pleasant surprise, we learned that there is a Sangat in Tokyo. And the day of our journey coincided with the satsang there. So we came out instead of going to the city and all that. We went directly to that house where satsang was being held. With their permission, we went there. We shared our blessings with them. And even though we had our own arrangements at the airport, the Sangat said, "Nahi, nothing doing, sir. Please stay with us." Stayed, we shared our satsangs, बातें करते रहे, very kind to us. Next day, they just showed us around the city and dropped us at the airport. Now, the Sangat there, they are doing that satsang in a very amazing way. Same जो हम लोग करते हैं, बिल्कुल वही है. साइलेंस मेंटेन करना, गुरु जी के शब्द कीर्तन सुनने, वो डिसिप्लिन, वो गुरु जी का ऑरा, उनकी डिवाइन प्रेजेंस. और जिनके यहाँ हम लोग फिर अल्टीमेटली जो एक डबराल संगीता डबराल आंटी हैं, उनके यहाँ हम लोग गए. Houses are small, but then they had also they have also devoted one room for Guruji's darbar. Beautiful darbar, amazing. that how people in Japan they are managing to hold Guruji's satsangs, and they said that it's growing, his sangat is growing. So for us, is one of the things we look forward to is to go anywhere, and we again I'm taking some more time. I hope I have your permission. In the month of March, probably I had an assignment to go to Ahmedabad. So again, we thought let us look for some satsang there. One day found out, and we traveled together. But जिस दिन हम लोग वहाँ गए तो उस दिन सत्संग अहमदाबाद में नहीं, शायद बड़ौदा में था. We couldn't go there. Again, Guruji enabled my second visit to Ahmedabad. This time I was alone. And the day I reached, there was Guruji's satsang there. I thought कोई अपना सत्संग कर रहा होगा वहाँ पे. But Sangat ji is something which is unique. जैसे जो एक एनवायरनमेंट छोटे मंदिर में था, वैसे ही एनवायरनमेंट है वहाँ पे जो संगत कर रहे सत्संग कर रहे हैं. उन्होंने एक बड़ा लार्ज कम्युनिटी हॉल इन्हें रेसिडेंशियल कॉम्प्लेक्स उसके अंदर सत्संग करते हैं वो. एब्सोल्यूट पिन ड्रॉप साइलेंस. Very beautifully decorated Guruji's Darbar. Strict discipline. Nobody can use phone, nobody can talk. The sevadars are unseen, they're all around you doing seva. Since I was on a official visit, I just opened my phone to check a message and somebody promptly told us, no sir, यहाँ कोई फोन इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते आप, चाहे वो दिल्ली से आए हो या कहाँ से आए हो, फोन नहीं कर सकते इस्तेमाल. So that kind of adherence to Guruji's हुक्म कि फोन इस्तेमाल नहीं करना है, जो भी ये 2 घंटे है, जितना भी टाइम वो सत्संग में यूज बैठे हैं, उन्हीं को उन्हीं में ध्यान लगाएं, उसी में हमारा कल्याण है. शुक्राना गुरु जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्राना. ऐसे हम लोग जो है आपके सत्संग जो है सुनते रहे, आपके जो आपने ब्लेसिंग्स और लोगों को दी है वो सुनते रहे. शुक्राना, बहुत बहुत शुक्राना. जय गुरु जी. शुक्राना गुरु जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्राना. संगत जी, आपका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्राना फॉर दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. वो कहते हैं ना, जो गुरु जी कहा करते जो सत्संग कर रहे हैं उनका कल्याण होगा, जो सुन रहे हैं उनका कल्याण होगा. मेरा तो कल्याण हो ही रहा है. थैंक यू सो मच. जय गुरु जी.